Emotional and physical sensitivity are closely linked. Studies show that sensitivity increases brain activity and drains physical energy. Big emotions often appear in people with higher than normal sensitivity. They tend to feel strongly about everything, from other people's emotions and gestures to their own, to what is happening around you. They can easily become excited and burst into emotions when receiving any external warmth, or burst into tears of joy, or feel heartbroken when betrayed. There may even be intense sensitivity to temperature, sound, or scent. Some people say being sensitive means crying often. For some other people, sensitive has a negative meaning because these people are considered to take matters too seriously. Being emotionally sensitive is completely normal and healthy, but at a certain level, it becomes harmful. Instead of letting it become our enemy, we can learn to regulate our emotions to make them our allies. Being too sensitive can make us believe that our imaginations or unintentional actions are true. Misinterpreting everyday interactions can prevent us from living a happy and healthy life. Neuroscientists have discovered that sensitivity is partly determined by our genes. About 20% of the world's population belongs to the highly sensitive group, meaning they have the ability to sense subtle stimuli that most other people cannot perceive and experience these stimuli more intensely than they do. This high sensitivity is regulated in a gene that regulates the amount of the hormone norepinephrine, a hormone that acts as a neurotransmitter in the brain, capable of sparking attention and response. Different societies will have different attitudes about highly sensitive people. According to experts, many children in the process of development feel that their personalities are lacking, so they easily become self-conscious, but the truth is that they are just as sensitive. In some cultures, such as Japan, this trait is highly appreciated. However, Western society does not see it that way. Children with overly sensitive personalities often receive negative reactions and ridicule from friends and adults. They are often misunderstood as weak, lacking energy, and are often bullied. But this is not entirely true. In other places, they are often considered talented because their sensitivity gives them great abilities in perceiving and understanding others better. In general, a personality trait will be perceived differently depending on the culture in which you live, as well as other factors such as gender, family environment, and school. Learning how to manage emotions effectively is possible and important. But if we are naturally sensitive people, how should we have better experiences in the modern context? In this era, a sensitive personality has both positive and negative aspects. If we take a positive approach, we can detect errors and process information at a deeper level than others. And on the negative side, we're likely to react to false alarms and feeling anxious about other stimulants, such as caffeine or drugs. But one thing is certain, we all experience sensitive moments in our lives. It will be difficult to find a person who does not go through feelings of depression and pain after a breakup, or upset because of harsh criticism. But for sensitive people, their emotional and physical experiences are always processed at high intensity, so continuously that it can actually change their lives. Relationships such as love, friendship, work performance, lifestyle can be greatly altered. When a person feels all these stimuli deeply, when they love, they immerse themselves completely in love and often feel worried and difficult in handling your own intense emotions. They often suffer from arousal and emotional disorders, leading to difficulties in relationships. For them, the risk of a broken heart or a relationship with a tragic ending is higher than that of normal people. Additionally, sensitive people are always aware of their surroundings, so they tend to have an increased risk of depression and anxiety disorders than normal people. Sensitive people have a lot of inner voices, and some of them are judgments or accusations of one's own emotions and sensitivities. And this inner voice will get louder and louder the more often they hear these things from people around them or from themselves. The inner struggles that separate the inner voice of the screaming emotion and the attempt to deny, and ignore that emotion. Perhaps a better approach is to observe and acknowledge your emotions and inner voice. Understand why those emotions arise, and consider what you can do about those voices instead of denying, dismissing, or feeling ashamed. Every inner voice or emotion that appears has its reason, meaning, and message for us. Psychology has proven that stepping out of your comfort zone is necessary to grow. However, try allowing yourself a safe zone to express everything you are feeling. For example, if we are facing the suffering that comes from a certain loss, give yourself some time to let it all out every day. We can set a time limit and then keep a diary of the feelings we have. Cry and talk to ourselves about those feelings. All we feel the need to do. When the time is up, we can go back and continue our work. Although this personality trait sometimes feels like a curse, it is also a magical gift. Sensitive people tend to put themselves in other people's situations to understand other people's feelings and thoughts, and from there, sensitive people become aware of how their words and behaviors can impact others. This self-awareness helps sensitive people always observe and feel their surroundings and find ways to adjust your emotions and behavior appropriately to avoid causing hurt or inconvenience to others. They have deep sympathy and understanding and sharing with the sadness of others. They also have high creative ability. They know how to draw inspiration from their inner life and create beauty, joy, and inspiration for others. These people also feel everything deeply, from people to nature to animals. They have strong passions about the topics they care about. They spend a lot of time cultivating themselves, their relationships, and the hobbies that satisfy them. These people also enjoy deep and meaningful conversations. If one day they know how to utilize this ability properly, they can become an excellent psychological manipulator. Sensitive people have a lot of inner voices, and some of them are judgments or accusations of one's own emotions and sensitivities. And this inner voice will get louder and louder the more often they hear these things from people around them or from themselves. The inner struggles that separate the inner voice of the screaming emotion and the attempt to deny and ignore that emotion. Perhaps a better approach is to observe and acknowledge your emotions and inner voice. Understand why those emotions arise, and consider what you can do about those voices, instead of denying, dismissing, or feeling ashamed. Every inner voice or emotion that appears has its reason, meaning, and message for us. And from there, set limits for yourself in listening to the voices or emotions. Thus are the results of the influence of that environment. It is quite common that no matter how we know how to behave, there will always be someone who does not completely get along with us because of differences in life and perspectives. Let's accept and normalize it and choose to be with people who bring us positive energy or emotions. Sensitivity in moderation is truly a gift.